conflicts can occur in many different ways in life. But when we talk about CLion and Git specifically, it's when you rebase or when you merge. Let's see how that works. As a good TV chef, I have prepared a dish for you already. And this dish is full of conflicts. Well, it has one really big conflict, but changes here and there. Let me show you a bit of the railroad for all of this. It starts by clicking on the Git down here in the corner. And especially what you need to be careful, it took me a bit of a while, is that you do not filter up here for anything. More specifically, do not filter for any branch, because then you'll not see anything. So here we have origin master, and master is the green railroad that ends right here. So this is this commit is the master. Now I prepared or played all day long now with this, so I didn't want to mess with my master, so I branched off from origin master down here, and I took a lot of detours, as you've seen in the previous videos here. So now you can see a railroad end up here. That is current master branch. It's not my current master. It's current master branch. It's just a branch that I call current master to simulate that I was on my master. In Git, branches, master, main, whatever, are not special in any way. So this railroad here starts down with this commit, which is my origin master, and you can see there are some stuff that was played with here earlier and some other stuff that you'll see that is on my real master. And the railroad at this junction here, it was branched off into my new feature, and my new feature had a few, 1, 2, 3 changes done to it. And now I want to rebase or merge. Let's just do a merge of my new feature and current master branch. But before we get there, let's see in a different way of what are the difference here. So I am currently, and that's a very important thing to observe up here, I'm currently checked out on my new features here, and I can go to current master branch, right click on that, and then I can say show diff with, no, compare with my new feature. So I'm comparing whatever I selected right here to what is currently checked out. So compare with my new feature, and what I'll get here is the railroad again, but just for these two. So that's a good sanity check if the railroad is so complex that it can be difficult to see. And a thing that I can do here is that I can click on each of those, and I can see what are the changes that had happened here. So now I'm looking at that file. That was not my intention. I can look at the difference between these different features. So that's cool. Now onto the merge. So let's close this one here in. Where are you? There you are. Onto the merge. So current, I got my new features, and I want to merge that onto my master branch. So compare with, so merge current master branch onto my new feature. Wrong direction. Okay, up here. And I will do a checkout of my current master branch. Checkout. So now I'm on my current master branch. I go to my new feature, right click, and I do merge my new feature into current master. There we are. And of course, I did expect this because I set up this problem here. I do have a merge conflict. A merge conflict, I can see it is merging branch my new feature into, yeah, I just said that, didn't I? And it is this file here that has a merge conflict. There could obviously be many merge conflicts in there, but this particular file has a merge conflict. Let's merge it. And up comes this view here that takes a bit of thinking about. So basically what we have here is now, and it's super important to be careful with what is on each of these columns, because that is, well, kind of important. So over here I have changes from current master branch. That's the one I'm currently merging onto. Over here I have changes from my new feature branch. That's the branch that I'm merging onto my current. And in here in the middle is the result. And what Git did is that it took these two different, took this file here from these two different places, and it looked for a common ancestor. And that's basically what we see in here, the common ancestor. And then we can see that on my current master branch, I added this line here, and I can say, yeah, that should definitely be in there. And I also added this, and if you look out here, you can see there's some markers here for where are the changes. This was added. Here's a conflict, added a modification, conflict. And over here, we can see that there's much less to see. There is this gigantic conflict we have there, but there's also something that was added right here. So we can scroll to that position, and you can see, yeah, well, sorry, I'm running in a very low resolution, but if I scroll here, you can see that I removed a bunch of exclamation marks because obviously somebody got really offended by all these exclamation marks. Now I can say, yeah, this one is good too, but I can also go the easy way and look through just like, yeah, I think this is good and everything. So let's just click on this one here saying, take all those changes from both the left and the right. So from current master branch and from my new feature branch, or my new features, that branch, take both sides and just put them in wherever there is no conflict. So that is basically a line here. There's this code has been added up here. There's no conflict in that. And of course, there's no guarantee that that will work, but it's usually just good enough. So we'll say, yes, do that. And now I am left with one conflict up here, and that's the conflict we have here. And now it's getting hard. So the current master branch is what all my coworkers, they did while I was sitting there pondering about my changes over here on my new feature branch. So likely that is okay. So we can say, yeah, take all their changes, and now let's compare to what is the change with me. And I can start looking at this, and maybe I can eyeball it. And if I know exactly what I did, there was something with a JPEG here and PNG there, and looking a bit further, maybe I can do it. But there is another facility in here. I can go up on this one here, and this is the right side. So I go up here and I say right and middle. That would just be what I have on the screen. So that's not going to help me, but there is base and right. So base and right, that gives me the changes that I did on my new feature branch compared to the point where I branched off. And I can see clearly that, oh yeah, I renamed it to pixmap, and then image got to pixmap and PNG. And that is cool. I go and close, and no, I'm not closing all of CLion. That's just a window that came up full screen. So that's cool. I go down here and I say, okay, so let me modify. So yes, indeed, I want a JPEG. And now you can see that the highlighting here went away because I was indeed that. And this one, JPEG, yeah. And the highlighting went away again. And there is some bunch of other stuff here, but they were the things that had happened on my current master branch while I was away. So that's cool. And then there was the pixmap that was changed, or the image that was changed to pixmap. But hey, that is not even used here anymore. So that is cool too. And now I'm done. And I say, yes, I am done with that change. And CLion now realizes all changes have been processed. Save changes and finish merging, and it will continue on, and it will continue on. And now hopefully it merge of branch my new features onto current master branch. In the past, I've always panicked whenever I've seen these merge conflicts. When I did a Git pull and there was a rebase onto my dates, my current master branch. But I think I will take it slightly easier from now on. And I especially like the feature of being able to pinpoint exactly what is it that was changed on my branch or on master branch by going to that menu that we saw up there. I'm Jesper Pedersen from KDAB. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and do subscribe, like, and send my wife flowers for me talking into the camera here all the time. I don't know. Have a great time, will you?